this is Sean Holm with Next Level Digital Podcast. Really excited today to have Elise Rhymes with Kaminsky Care and Repair on our podcast today. We're just going to dive into her business, get some tips, insights, and just excited to hear her story and how she started her business. So Elise, thanks so much for joining us today.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Absolutely. So Elise, I want to hear about Kaminsky Care and Repair. You can go as far back as your personal background as you'd like. What kind of got you here? How's it going? Just general, how you got to your business now. Don't be afraid to brag or any of that stuff too. This is really to showcase your business and what you've built so far. So how did you get started with it?
It kind of fell out of the sky. So a little story, just a little bit about, this wasn't what I was looking for. Um, but I have a strong faith, right? And I'm a lady of 5 kids. Husband deceased in 2018. Been working in the distribution world from regular associate to supervisor, ops manager, director. As I ended my career, I ended as a director with Nike in Memphis. And with that, kind of this opportunity. So 2024, June, I'm laid off. I'm without a job. But somewhere in the universe, I have always talked about building things. Just always wanted to build something.
Mm-hmm.
And with this opportunity, I jumped right into a technical course that gave me some electrical, some plumbing, and some carpentry in hopes of opening a construction company.
Yeah.
That's fine. Let's take a break. I've got some mental stuff going on, and maybe if I start cutting some stuff up and maybe using some power tools, I could work off a little of a space that's unknown. I've now entered into an unknown space in life,
Mm-hmm.
and what's next? And somewhere along the line, I just told myself I didn't want to go back into working for somebody. I've raised my children. They still want and they still need, but they grown. Listen, listen. They're old enough for me to be able to finally decide what's next, really, without having to think of anybody. They're a part of it, but it's really about me today. So, mutual acquaintance had knew the Kaminsky family, the Kaminsky brand. They found out I was laid off. I come from a background of managing people and managing processes and managing money and making sure that there's growth. So, they felt like the right tools had been instilled in me, but I was about to jump into a field that I had never, ever in life thought this is where it would be. So today, Kaminsky Care and Repair is a handyman service.
Mm-hmm.
I call it, we do all things handyman. They tap me on the shoulder. It's a franchise. So I am into the franchising world. I'm a franchisee of Kaminsky Care and Repair.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's how Kaminsky Care and Repair became a thing.
Yeah. So I think as soon as you said handyman service, people are like, oh, that's surprising, because most people think, including myself, I picture like a burly guy, like a burly guy who, shows up and fixes stuff and doesn't say much, and, he's handy, but anyway.
Welcome to me.
So
here we go.
Yeah. So that's, what kind of, I love that you're just like, this is what I want to do. It doesn't matter. And so I have this vision for this, and you're going to bring, I'll tell you, because I come from a construction background too. I did construction for a while, when I was younger, that, construction people are not always the most organized. or to have some corporate experience. You worked at some big companies in the past. It brings that corporate insight, organization, and management into something that often doesn't have it, right? That's got to bring a lot of insights to your business that maybe other of your competitors don't have, I would imagine.
As I think about it, and I'm learning, right? I'm in this phase of people are calling me to fix drywall patches, insert a tub, fix a shower, take a window out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't come from that in real life,
Yeah.
in my daily journey of life, I don't come from that. But um, on this path, because of me wanting to do the construction company, somewhere the stars aligned and somewhere we're here today. And I am knowledgeable, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am knowledgeable. There is a structure. So with the company, I get a platform that supports me. I'm really out here in a whole different, and I just always pray that I don't want to go back to work for. Yeah, I know that entrepreneurship is tough. You hear it every day. You listen to people. Um, you try to learn, listen to their mistakes. Don't make the same mistakes. But what I'm learning is you got to make some mistakes. It's the only way growth happens.
Yeah.
It's the only way you learn and you understand, because I think the same issues will show up again. I think they will. I
Mm-hmm.
just feel like, if I run into one bad customer, I'm going to run into two bad customers, right? It's not like that customer is going to go. That type of person is going to go away.
Yeah.
It's just who you show up to be um, when you're dealing with certain things, and you got to deal with the big issues. Listen, I just yesterday negotiated my first real contract.
Uh-huh.
And this is in 7 months. I'm excited about it. It's doing something to me on the inside. It's lighting a fire that I haven't had in a long time. I've been good, I think, at what I did. I really think I was an amazing manager. I think that I'm tooting my own horn. I do. I think I reach people differently. I think I was able to relate because of
Yeah.
my background of who I am as a human being,
Yeah.
but also who I've become as a person that's worked all their life, and the career, the path that
Mm-hmm.
I decided to take. So, and today I apply it. I apply it differently. Um,
For
but it's
sure.
not managing thousands of people now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So
it
so
can
this
be a
deal that you
lot.
negotiated, is this is like a new job basically. Construction job.
Yeah,
Okay, awesome.
yeah,
So
yeah.
how was it getting like what was the process of becoming a franchise owner with Kaminsky? Like what kind of led you in that direction?
So like I said, there was an acquaintance that we both shared.
Mm-hmm.
And Kaminsky was in the beginning of franchising their brand.
Uh-huh.
Um, they found out about my situation and me being laid off. I'll be honest. It's two men. Um, I'm sold on the support and the brand and them believing in it to ensure that Kaminsky is going to be an amazing franchise business. We're going to be the Roto-Rooters of the world. Ooh, did I say somebody else's competition? But no, they're not. They're plumbing. But we're going to be in the realm of the McDonald's and the Chick-fil-A's and the businesses that really, if people want to relate to what a franchise is, those are what they can relate to, right? Those are
Yeah,
brand
okay.
names like
So
Chick-fil-A and McDonald's. So
like
that's what a franchise
yeah,
does,
brand
So
familiarity, brand strength, the
yeah,
resources, the
yeah,
infrastructure that they provide.
yeah,
Yeah, that makes
yeah.
sense. I honestly hadn't, I wasn't aware that there were like these kinds of services that were starting to franchise. So that's interesting. I mean, I know Roto Rooter and things like that, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's very interesting. So tell me a little bit about kind of how are you getting customer, how are you growing your business? How are you getting customers? What does your ideal customer look like?
So you saw my face. So I pay for advertising. Advertising is a thing. Marketing is part of the infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
I had to be Google certified. I pay for that. I pay for Google. Angie's List. All of these real apps that are out there, honestly, these are avenues that bring business,
Uh-huh.
right? And you want to be, you have to be, because people are always looking at, you know, um, Google ratings,
Yeah,
Yelp
absolutely.
ratings. They're always after what type of service am I going to get with this brand, right? So it's really about, if I'm going to have someone out there representing Kaminsky Care Repair Raleigh, North Carolina, got to make sure that the right technician shows up. He's presentable. Um,
Hmm.
he understands the pillars of Kaminsky. He understands that we are here to service a customer with 5-star exceptional quality.
Mm.
That's who we show up to be every day. And if we're not that, we're good communicators.
Hmm.
We want to communicate with the customer so we can understand where we can learn, if that's for us, and also how do we fix the issue if we have one. So we
Yeah.
show up as our best self every day. We want to make sure that our customers are satisfied, but that marketing piece is huge, and that's part of the franchising fee. That's part of the royalties that goes into it. I'm going to be honest with you. In these 6 months, in these 7 months, I'm learning more than I ever thought I was going to learn. Okay,
Yeah.
and that's the good and the bad. It is. It's the good and the bad. And if you're not willing, man, to accept some hard punches and to learn and know
Hmm.
that, because we deal with people every day.
Yeah.
You deal with people every day. And that's from my technicians to the customers, even to the back office that's having to support me and us having to understand, how are we to drum up more business, and platforms like this is good for small businesses. It really is. There's a lot that goes into it,
Yeah.
and franchising a business, to me, it's heavy. It's heavy. It really is. But I'm so excited. I wish I could be. No, I don't. I don't want to tone down my excitement. I haven't felt this type of excitement in years.
Yeah.
You know, even getting the dream job of being a director, and, man, feeling like, all the hard work behind it. It was exciting for me. It was. It was
Hmm.
a major accomplishment.
Yeah.
But there's no finish line in this thing. There's no finish line in it. You
Right.
gotta keep.
Right.
I learned that. There's no finish line in it. We going. It's on go mode right now.
Uh-huh.
A lady, and I want people to know. I wanna emphasize this, because if I don't emphasize this, I don't think it sheds enough light on. You can change course at any time. I'm a 52-year-old lady, okay,
Hmm.
with 5 kids, getting it. As my kids would say, I got it out of mud. That's what I want to say in real life. But I worked though. I worked hard. I worked hard to get to where I was, and I've got something to prove to me today. Right?
Hmm.
It's a me versus me battle, I think, right now. So
Yeah.
I just always want the ladies to know. I'm probably not talking to the men. I'm really talking to the ladies.
Well,
That
no, I think
somewhere
you
on
are. I
both
mean,
shoulders.
I can share with that
Yeah.
experience somewhat. I worked in a corporate environment for a while, and I loved my job, but eventually I just kind of got that entrepreneurial itch again, and I said, just the attractiveness. I mean, it comes with all kinds of extra things you have to do as an entrepreneur, right? It's nonstop sometimes, but there's unlimited potential. Like, you get to bring a new level of optimism to it, because you can grow it as much as you have passion to grow it. So it is very exciting all the time about the possibilities that are out there to grow your own business.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
freedom,
It's
the
I
freedom it
never.
brings. I said freedom, not really. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I work for myself. I have freedom. It's like, no. I'm like, I got a lot of work to do all the time.
Oh man, it's amazing, because I didn't know I'd be here. I really didn't. I mean, this thing happened. I was laid off end of June, stopped getting a paycheck 2024. August 2024, I'm enrolled in a property maintenance course that gave me, I did a trimester. It was 9 months, of a little electrical, a little plumbing, and a little carpentry. I came out with a certificate. Somewhere in the middle, this franchising opportunity came up.
Yeah.
Two men, they flew. I went out to San Diego. They gave me a pitch. They They prayed together. They did
Mm.
things that showed me that they believe in what this is, and it's going to
And
work. It's
their
working. I
values
mean, it's
align
working.
with yours. They shared that faith
Their
aspect that,
values align with mine.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're like,
they
okay, I
do.
can get
They
behind these
align with
guys.
mine. Yeah, and to be to be a person out here who's never owned anything or ran their own business before in their entire life, and to not only have a connection because I believe in the business and I'm seeing it and I'm seeing the growth. There's also a spiritual connection that happened that in my heart that said
Mm.
I connect differently, and they believe like I believe, and
Right. I mean,
it's
yeah,
there.
you're a person of faith. You go out there, you want to hear about this business opportunity. You realize there are people of faith, and you're like, oh, this is feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
We have the same values here. Earlier, you're talking about the importance of having an online presence and being on Google. There's statistics that show, being on Google is extremely important. Something like 80% of people want to see your Google reviews before booking with you. What do you feel like is the importance of having that kind of online presence, especially around Google, for your business?
Uh, the name has to get out there. So, Google is a search engine um, that you type in just certain words and different names pop up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Different. If I'm looking for a plumber, I'm going to get a plumber. If I'm looking for an electrician, if I'm looking for a handyman, but if you're one and the same, and you type in any one of those, and because of the AI technology that happens and the way the search engines are run today, my name could pop up in any one of those things, right? Because that's attached to my Google profile. That's attached to, who I say that the company is, and
Yep.
for Google to really vet me in the beginning, I had to go through a whole thing to get vetted to even be a part of that search engine. So I think it's a trust thing too, right? I think so many scammers are out there and stuff, and
Oh yeah.
I'm appreciative of how Google. So I need them,
Yeah.
because when people go and they really look, you really need that presence.
Yeah.
You do.
And have you? And I'm going to ask some like marketing stuff because that's my world, and I'm curious. Have you automated your process of like getting Google reviews whenever you complete a job or anything like that yet?
Yes, yes, yes. So we have an app. It's all part of the infrastructure.
Okay.
There's an app,
Yeah.
and our customers, we send, everything is very um, automated, right?
Hmm.
Everything is automated, from the way I send estimates out, from the way I bill and invoice customers.
Perfect. Yeah. That's
Uh,
awesome.
Everything is out there. Yeah.
And do you feel like most of your business comes through having like people search, I need a handyman or I got this kind of issue? Or are you running like paid advertising where you're like, maybe on Facebook or something like that where you're trying to get new customers? Or you get them from like Angie's List or other things like that. Like in the handyman space, what do you feel like is the best way to get new customers coming in? I know referrals
So
are nice too, but I'm just mean outside of
yeah.
that.
And I think because I'm in such a fresh phase, and because there's an infrastructure with Kaminsky, um, I do believe that um, I do believe that it's good to have the ability to be able to utilize the apps like Thumbtack, like Angie's List. Those things bring in the business, because I'm a new business and I don't have a presence and didn't have referrals. You have to rely on that portion of
Yeah.
marketing to get your name out there. So that's just a piece of um, and it's all paid advertising. It's all paid advertising. What I do know is they say you got to spend money to make money,
Hmm.
and that's truthful. That's really, really the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Cool.
fine. So let's shift to a little bit about kind of maybe what are your goals for growth. Where do you hope to be in 6 months, 12 months from now? What are some of the challenges to scaling to get to where you want to be? Curious to hear about that as a fairly new business owner.
So I will say this: I'll talk about the biggest challenge right now first, right? In this handyman space, I need technicians. That means I need people who are able to do the work. So part of the infrastructure is the company vets the handyman people to ensure that they can do the broad range of things that we put under our umbrella.
Yeah.
But finding good people is just like any other job, right?
Yeah.
How do people really show up for you? And it's been challenging. I will say, in this 7 months, 6, 7 months that I've been operating, um, I've learned a lot. Understanding what comes with entering a person's home and having to fix that drywall patch, or having to
Yeah.
put that flooring down and make sure or fixing that rotting wood on the outside. So I'm learning a lot, right? And what I do know is, coming from the business sector that I came from and how to manage people, time is money.
Hmm.
And now I can, I relate it to, how, the productivity world that I come from, and also ensuring when you're out here and you're having to tell people how much money they got to pay for us to come in and fix something.
Uh-huh.
I got to make sure we're in there and we're out of there, right? We're in there and we're doing the best job.
Yeah.
So it's been challenging in that area. I will say, I wish I could have said in the first 3 months, bam, I found the right people and we were on our way.
Hmm.
But no, I'm still searching right now today. But I have found a good base.
So your support with the Kaminsky Group, basically, they'll help vet people, but how do you actually go about finding those technicians to hire?
So it's just like anything else. Here we go. We got to put ads
You got
out
to
on
put ads
Indeed.
out. Yeah.
You got to put ads out. You
Hmm.
got to, because the people who you want, you want people who are out there looking for meaningful employment. In this world today, if we really want to talk about it, AI is taking over so much of the world where I come from.
Yep.
They have robots that are, selecting and packing and putting away and doing all these different things, right? But this handyman service and this, people are, because of the economy, are kind of staying put a little bit, so they're wanting their homes to be, top notch. We're going in and we're doing remodels, and, I've got a crew of people who do a range of everything.
Hmm.
Handyman is where we are today. So we're talking about growth, right? So here we
Yeah.
go. Handyman is where we are today. But still in this market, we're doing remodels.
Uh-huh.
We're doing small room remodels. I want in the next 6 months, that's 12 months, when we're celebrating and throwing this party, and a year has passed and we've made it to the end of March, and it's time to celebrate the company for a year. We're ready to um, invest in bigger projects,
Yeah.
larger, home, kitchen, and bathroom remodels.
Hmm.
The Kaminsky brand has a branch of kitchen and bathroom remodels.
Hmm.
And that's where we start the first 2 years in the handyman service, branching out into the small sector. But in 2 years, we're off to kitchens and bathroom
Yeah.
remodels. At the end of the day, we're going to be building houses. That's where
Wow.
we see
Yeah.
it. This is going to be a home builder.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
There
going
you
to be a
go.
home builder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kitchen and baths, big projects, right? Those bring in
Yeah.
nice revenue on those, for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think what's your biggest item right now of repair? Like, are you doing mostly plumbing, electrical, painting, siding repairs? Like, what's your biggest thing?
I think drywall and painting is really huge. We're doing a lot of before the weather changed, especially during the summertime. We did a lot of outside work on windows, repairing a lot of rotted wood at doorways, a lot of fencing.
Okay.
We did a lot. We put a lot of fences up. This. I mean, it's just been a lot. Hey, I've been in a crawl space. I don't even know what a crawl space was up until
And now you know, and you're like, I don't want to go back in there.
I don't want to do that. I don't know if that's for me or not. But hey, it's an experience. It's really an experience. It's really, I learned a lot. We did a huge project, and it is something that now this company is experienced with.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
uh,
And you, like, I'm sure a lot of time you've got techs out in the field, you're handling invoicing and your orders and all the aspects of, in-house aspects of your business.
Right.
But you going out in the field, I'm sure, provides huge insight. So you can actually understand what it takes to swap out a garbage disposal or to pull out a cabinet. And, I'm sure that in-field experience helps a lot with your work there, right? You can relate to what's going on. You kind of understand it. And I know you did your course, too, where you probably did you learned a lot about it as well. But I imagine occasionally being out in the field and getting hands-on experience probably helps a lot with every other aspect, I would imagine.
It does. It really, really does. It's funny because I can come out there and the guys will be out there and I'll try to do something. They're like, no, 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 no. And I sometimes want to say, it's almost chauvinistic, I
Yeah.
just want to say,
Oh,
not
for
the way
sure.
I want because I do get that it's a man's world,
Yeah.
it's been, dominated. It's still dominated, but I do believe that there are women out there um, who don't mind, who want something different. We're looking for, maybe less boardroom talk and,
Mm-hmm.
you come from something. My mom, for whatever reason, really, she's always put tile up in the bathroom a long time ago. When she retired, she was painting walls.
Uh-huh.
She's 77. She just painted a wall about a year ago, and I just looked at her and said, "Lady, really? I
Yeah.
could have came and did it. I would have come and done it. I would have."
Uh-huh.
But she's always been kind of handsy too. She was a school teacher, but she's always, in the off season and the off time, painted or always doing something. So
Yeah.
I think me not maybe subconsciously seeing it and not really understanding it then, striving for something else then, but because she always pushed us to get educated. It was always a thing, to I have a bachelor's degree. I'm from an HBCU. I pledged Delta Sigma Theta. I've done all of these things.
Uh-huh.
I'm proud of that, but I'm probably the most excited right now today
Mm.
at doing something. I want to build. Truth be told, I want to build a home for my children and I.
Mm.
I want to build what they've lived life with me their entire life,
Mm-hmm.
and they're my biggest supporters.
Mm.
It's five of them. I have a son. I had him at 17. And their sisters, his sisters followed, and they're probably the biggest bullies to him, and you got four younger sisters. I'm glad he's the oldest, okay? But he's 35, and my youngest is 25, and I want us to have, and somewhere along the way, I did. I put in the universe. I wanted to be in North Carolina, and I think God is lining. He's aligning the stars today. He's allowing me to feel good about it, work hard for it, um, stay grounded in it.
Yeah.
I'm really grounded. But I will say it's work. It's real work and learning. It's you go to people's houses and I've got my measuring tape and I miss something when I come back to the estimator and he's fussing in my ear and saying, "Well, did you get that? Okay, I missed it. But listen, this is what I did see. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think it's an opportunity for me to learn every day, and I like it. They challenge me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in the process, I'm being challenged because I'm in a new field, and I want anybody. Fear is only what we make it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can give it life because I don't know. Sometimes we don't have work. It's been days. Where but I've got some employees and they're being paid.
Yeah.
They always say the owner sometimes has to take the back seat, right, to
Yeah.
make sure everybody
Take care of your
and
people.
that's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to make sure that my people are okay. I'll be fine. I'll be okay.
Yeah. Well,
I'll be okay. I'm ready.
that's
I'm ready for
yeah.
it.
You're gonna be probably a little bit unique like that sometimes too. There's other people that don't think that way. I pay myself, and then maybe I'll pay my employees. But it sounds like you're taking care of people, and you've got a strong why.
Yeah.
You've got vision, and you've got a goal to build this house for your family, and it's family based. It's not some vain thing. I just really want to buy a Lamborghini, and that's why I'm working. you know.
Yeah. No.
Um,
Now I do, but that's not why I'm working.
yeah. Yeah, so I mean, very grounded, and I think you've said that too. Grounded, that word. So that's awesome. I love it. You were mentioning earlier kind of about the, some people will look at you like, "Oh, what's this girl doing out here? She doesn't know." But I'll tell you, I had a job in a previous career where I was like a field superintendent, and I would do a little bit of small repairs, but mostly I'd be coordinating, kind of like if you're doing the office work and you're managing the technicians. I'd be doing work like that, and I had a boss that was a woman, and she was probably the best out of every single position that we could do. She could go in the house, exactly know what the repairs needed to be done. She could probably do a lot of those. She could do a lot of those repairs, and that is definitely a stereotype, and it's true. There's more often than not, there's more women who don't know that stuff and don't care to know that stuff. But
Right.
don't don't think that if a girl shows up to do that, they're not going to know what they do, because I know several that are way more handy than I am, for sure. So,
Right. I, my my carpentry teacher was a lady.
oh, okay, yeah,
Love. I believe she's probably the baddest lady out there to
mm-hmm,
to build something. Okay, she's amazing,
uh-huh,
and that, in itself just says it's a gang of us out here. It's a group of us out here. You know, and if for any lady who wants to get into this business and wants some infrastructure behind it, and even men, I think it's a franchise. I think it's a business because there are territories out there and there are areas um, up up for grabs right now. Really, with the infrastructure that's behind it, it can be. I think it has the opportunity for exponential growth.
yeah,
Right. If you can make it what you want to make it,
mm-hmm,
it's a service that's not going away. It's something that people are going to really, really need
mm-hmm,
for years to come. Um, so
yeah,
if you're thinking about making smart moves like me, I want this move to be my best move and my last move. No, well, maybe not my last move, but right now it needed to be my best move.
yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean,
and it makes
technology
sense.
technology is certainly replacing a lot of jobs, but that kind of work, until there's some robots that can go and show up and patch some drywall, which I don't think we're anywhere near that level of
Right.
sophistication. You're always going to need people in the trades, and I think you're always going to have tons of customers that you can help. So I don't think you're going to get replaced by technology. But I am curious your thoughts on, you mentioned earlier in our talk here, AI, and that's a huge word right now. Like, how are you, if you are using AI, how are you using it? If not, how do you feel like it could benefit your business? Like, are there areas of your business where you're like, hey, this would actually be really good if we had some tool like this or some AI?
So AI is a part of our app anyway, right? AI. I can generate conversation for estimates on how to outline an estimate. I appreciate AI.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, it helps tremendously in the world of communication. Um,
Mm-hmm.
AI, laugh all the time because I got a friend that uses Chat GPT on a regular basis, right?
Oh, yeah.
But she uses it in a funny way, right? She asks sometimes, for its honesty, but in the grand scheme of things, AI is helping a lot of us in a world where um, it's smarter than us. It knows stuff that we don't know. So I'll just be honest. And sometimes me as a lady, when I don't understand the jargon or different kind of words,
Sure.
or you know, sometimes I don't know all the materials that's supposed to be included on a project, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I use AI to help to teach me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, I used it, a little bit when I was taking my classes. Listen, I tested AI. I wanted to know really how smart are you, and I would give it things, and it would get it wrong. It gets stuff wrong right now. Sometimes
Oh,
when
yeah.
it's calculating, it gets stuff wrong right now. So I don't want people to think that they can rely solely
Mm-hmm.
on AI, right? But as a tool, um, in this business, we use it.
Yeah.
The company uses it. It helps us field calls a lot easier. It's got this robot thing that we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's not happy with it because AI can be complex sometimes too,
Oh yeah,
because it's not a human being and it's not catching your question right, or it's not hearing you properly, or
yeah.
whatever that
So
is,
it's a phone AI. Does it call them, or is it when they call you?
It's when they call us.
Okay,
It's when they
and
call
it
us. Yeah,
sees what they want to do, and that's awesome. Yeah,
yeah,
a lot of small businesses don't have that, and it's a super
right.
helpful tool. Like, maybe explain that. Like, how helpful do you think that is for your business? Like, maybe you're not able to answer the call right now, and it just goes to AI. Like, how does that help your business using AI, an AI receptionist, so to speak?
Yeah. So speed to lead is everything.
Yeah.
Speed to lead is everything, right? So say I'm out in the field and somebody's on the computer and submitting this Google um, they're submitting this Google request, filling out our little give me your name and what your problem is, and they're filling it out and they press submit. I'm not sitting behind the computer waiting on something to come to me. So it floats out here in a cloud and we capture it. And AI as a bot, sometimes they call the 800 number and a bot answers,
Hmm.
right? So the bot captures and then they shoot it to me. We have a Slack channel, right? So there are all of these tools that we have to utilize to make sure when that lead comes in, you're notified of it. You're
Yeah.
notified of it within minutes of it showing up, right?
Yeah.
Because not only is that person reaching out to me, a person may also be reaching out to two or three more people,
Exactly.
right?
And you know what
Because
they're gonna do? They're gonna
and I
call somebody. They don't get an answer back. They're gonna call the next person.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So speed to lead means a lot, and
Yeah.
it's part of the infrastructure and it's part of the dialogue that's taught. And I mean, when I say I'm not a salesperson,
Hmm.
okay, I've learned this speed to lead thing. Okay, I've learned this
I'm
speed to
impressed that you
lead.
know that
That
verbiage
little
and that you
jargon,
have these
right?
tools in place. That's huge. I'm really
Yeah,
impressed with
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I want people to know that this brand has been very thoughtful on um, if they're selling a product and they're selling the name and the brand, that they have put a lot of thought and pieces behind how to support the business to ensure that you get the maximum capability of selling your
Yeah,
service, you know? So, and that's huge.
that
It's
is
really, I'm
huge.
learning. It's really
It
huge.
sounds
Yeah.
like you've got some great infrastructure in place. You've got this partner, this franchise that's got a lot of awesome tools for you to help you
Mhm.
convert those leads and generate leads and build your business. So it
Yeah.
sounds like you're in a great spot. As we kind of wrap up this podcast here today, I'm just curious if you have any last thoughts that you want to share, any advice maybe for a new small business owner or even a woman franchisee, woman business owner, women in the handyman space. It doesn't have to be about women, but that's kind of your unique situation. You're definitely a minority of women in the handyman space for sure. So any last minute thoughts on your experience and any tips you could give to anybody watching this?
I just want anyone, you know, I could be basically, really, funneling in and tuning in to women,
Yeah.
but I want this to be for anyone that has a passion to do something that they feel like they can be successful at. Don't let fear stop you. We all have a past. We all have things that have defined us and made us into who we are. Um, don't allow the outside noise to trick you into believing that you can't be that. I always say, don't let your past define you. Allow God to define you. Once you decide that, and I believe it doesn't happen. You can't do it alone. And sometimes your friends are not going to be able to help you. The stories are the doctors can't help you. You gotta lean and depend on God. And I'm a firm believer in God,
Hmm.
but I don't knock people in their religion.
Yeah.
I am a true believer of a higher being, And if you can't trust anybody else in life, you better find you something that you can hold on to,
Mm-hmm.
because life is going to life all the time. People are going to get in your ear and make you feel like you put all the doubts and the worry that they can. But if you're passionate about it, you really feel it in your soul and you give it everything that you got, I believe it's got to win. I believe it's got to win. At the end of the day,
Love it.
you know,
Yeah.
got to win. And I'm in winning season right now. Okay, we winning. Okay.
Love that. Well, great final words. Well, thanks so much again, Elise, for being on this and sharing about your business and your passion and how you've gotten there and everything. So, really appreciate you joining. Best wishes with growing your business and accomplishing your goals. And yeah, just on to 2025, huh? That should be the thing. 2025. We're getting close enough now. So, I'm
I'm getting
sorry,
close enough, right?
2026. I said 2025, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
2026 is going to be a great year.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Sean, and I really appreciate you guys for having me on. It's been a pleasure. I just hope you know that I reach somebody out there that's really struggling with the what's next phase in life, because it doesn't have to end there. If you're not happy, you can always turn the page and decide to do something different and be successful at it. Don't let I'm glad that I didn't let this past career be my ending, right? Because somebody ended it for me, and it was my decision. And don't think that that's got to be it. It doesn't. It
Absolutely.
doesn't. You can do anything. You can be 65 and start something new
Yeah,
and
yeah.
still be successful at it. So
Great
don't
words.
let yeah.
Awesome.
Just keep moving forward.
Yeah, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Have a good rest of your
You
day.
too.